Welcome to Classical 95.9 WCRI's Conducting Conversations with your host, Mike Mano. 1 hour of music and conversation with notable people in the arts, bringing you the stories of how music has impacted their lives. The show will give a behind-the-scenes look at the guest's background, interests, or special project.
Conducting Conversations is brought to you by Roberts Musical Instruments. From sheet music and brand name instruments to rentals, repairs, lessons, and more. Roberts Musical Instruments is your key to musical success. Call 823-5459. That's 823-5459.
And now here's your host, Mike Mano.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Easter, and welcome to Conducting Conversations. I'm Mike Mano, very pleased to be sitting with a longtime friend of the station. Trevor Neal is here. Welcome back, Trevor.
Hi, Mike. Good to see you.
Nice to see you and have you with us on this Easter Sunday. We're going to be talking about Newport Classical. And in Rhode Island terms, I know you're not really a Rhode Islander, Trevor, but in Rhode Island terms, we would say what used to be the Newport Music Festival. See, because that's the way things are around here.
That's correct.
You
that's
give directions that way, where the gas station used to be, near where Benny's was.
That's right.
All of those things. So we're talking about Newport Classical and the season, which has been announced, and you're in full swing now, right?
Absolutely. We just announced our season. Tickets are on sale now. Our season this year runs July 4th through 23. We have 25 stellar concerts that are taking place all across Newport in historic venues like the Breakers, the Elms Mansion. We even take a trip over to Blythewall Mansion for an outdoor concert. And a slew of educational and community engagement events throughout the summer.
Now, this festival has been going for a long time. This is, 40 years almost?
This is our 54th season.
That's what I said, 54th season.
That's
I didn't realize it was that long. 54 years of doing this, and you've been with the festival how long now?
Since fall of 2019, just before the big C hit us all in 2020.
And you've been with the festival as the Director of Artistic Planning. I love that title.
Oh, thank you.
Does that fit on a business card?
It barely, just barely, but it does fit. It does fit on one side, mind you.
Now, for people that haven't heard you on the station before, on this program before, let's do a little background rundown. You are a professional opera singer for many years?
Yes. For many years. I'm actually just beginning to start to swing back into things again. For me personally, I have a few more auditions coming up this fall, and we'll see what comes of those.
Wow, great! Is it possible to be back on the road again, or at least briefly, like for
absolutely.
a week here, a week there?
Yes, absolutely. Luckily, the job here remains very flexible. We're a small staff at Newport Classical, but I have a supportive staff of people who really work together to make sure that we can have everything done that we need, even in the absence of someone who really makes a difference in artistic programming like myself.
Yeah, and where did you get your start? Where did you grow up?
Grew up in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
I was born, raised, and educated in the state of Texas. Went to the University of North Texas, College of Music in Denton, Texas for my music degree. After that, I shot off to New York City like we all do, all poor, struggling musicians, and rented myself a closet apartment and began my career.
There you go. Did you ever have to sublet your apartment?
Oh yes. It was usually to other artists looking to come into the city for auditions because they were smart and lived back at home.
Well, that's a standard procedure for people that move to New York. What am I going to do about my apartment? Where am I going to live? How can I find someone to share the expenses?
That's right.
But that's all in the past now, and now you're a world-renowned star, so you don't have to worry about those things anymore.
Grammy nominated, don't forget that.
Grammy nominated, there you go, living here right in Rhode Island. We don't have very many of those.
No, if I'm correct, I believe there may be one more in the classical genre.
Right.
And that's my good friend and colleague from Ensemble Altera, Christopher Lowry.
Wow, okay. So a pretty exclusive club you have.
That's right.
There you go. All right. Let's get to the Newport Classical schedule and the music we're going to hear today. You just brought 3 pieces, so we'll hear one in each segment. But let's start off with we're going to go kind of in chronological order. What's happening?
Absolutely. We have 3 more concerts remaining in our very exciting chamber series this year. This has been a very successful second year for us in the chamber series. The majority of our concerts have been sold out, and that's very encouraging for us. Newport used to be considered a sleepy town at a certain part of the year, and with year-round programming like this from us and our other colleagues around Newport, continuing to do exciting programming year-round, we're able to draw in these numbers and keep classical music at the forefront of people's minds going into the summer season. So we have 3 more concerts, the first one being on April 21st with Thomas Mesa and Ilya Yakushev, dubbing themselves as the Powerhouse Duo. Both of these are 2 world-class soloists with what we would consider international flair.
All right.
Ilya is known for his musical pyrotechnics. I mean, this kid, he sits down at the piano and his fingers, you look at him and they're just gliding across the keys, and it's really a sight to see. But the most interesting musician on this program is actually Thomas Mesa, the Cuban-American cellist, who is, I mean, just absolutely mind-blowing at the cello. He's a multi-award winner. He's fresh off being awarded the Sphinx Gold Medal of Excellence. And what's really great about that is that comes with a whopping $75,000 cash prize.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I would like to win that.
So
for
his
myself.
apartment's probably bigger than yours.
His
was.
apartment's definitely bigger than mine. His apartment's definitely bigger than mine. But it's going to be a joy to have them here. They have a pretty eclectic program that begins on the turn of the century of France and goes all the way through Massenet. But today I brought a piece for you. It's going to be familiar to all of our audiences, and that's Massenet's Meditation on Thais.
All right. You want to listen to that now?
Absolutely.
We'll do that. Then we'll take a short break and be back with more of the amazing Trevor Neal and Newport Classical. The Newport Classical Music Festival is the subject of tonight's Conducting Conversations. I'm Mike Mano, very pleased to be sitting with Trevor Neal, who is the Director of Artistic Planning for the festival and Newport Classical in general, not just this festival, but it's something that runs all year long now. And if you'd like to go to the website, check out things, it's very simple, newportclassical.org. Pretty simple, Trevor. That was amazing the way you got that name in there.
yeah. It was a large rebranding effort, and we're seeing the benefits of this new rebranding now.
There you go. Now, tickets are on sale for the festival and special concerts. We were just talking about one of them, and that's the concert that's going to be, April 24th, I think?
April 21st, actually.
21st,
April 21st.
Okay.
That's Thomas Mesa and Ilya Yakushev.
Okay, and where is that going to be held?
That's going to be at the historic Emmanuel Church in our recital hall there.
And what time day?
And that's going to be a 7:30 p.m. concert.
7:30 p.m. on April 21st. Don't miss it. It's and get your tickets soon because most Newport Classical events sell out. And that's not a sales pitch. That's just the facts. And you've already sold out other concerts coming up in the distant future, right?
Absolutely. As you just mentioned, our summer festival is coming up this July, and today is day one of ticket sales, and there are a few concerts that are no longer available for purchase.
Wow.
So I highly advise anyone who loves classical music and loves what we do at Newport Classical to, one, join us this summer, but two, make sure you get online and purchase those tickets as soon as possible to secure your spot this summer.
And most of the ticket prices are extremely reasonable for what you get. You don't. We're not talking about $200 a ticket or anything like that.
No, we are not. There's two concerts this summer. They're a little bit higher ticket price point, and I'm sure once our patrons go online and look at our slew of wonderful concerts, they'll be able to quickly identify which concerts those are.
Okay. All right. Well, we talked about the April 21st concert. What comes up after that?
So we have a wonderful saxophone quartet. Now, you may have not expected me to say saxophone quartet in classical music, but I promise you, this is really a concert that people really should come to. This is Canary Quartet on May the 19th.
Now, I love quartets, but I haven't heard a lot of saxophone quartets. Where are they from?
This group actually comes to us from the state of Michigan. They formed at the University of Michigan under their professor there, and they have since stayed together and have been traveling the world internationally and performing really, really great music. One thing that I really like about this ensemble is that they have a true dedication to both the old and the new, really advocating for new music, for this kind of niche category in classical music that you don't really hear much from, but also providing fresh takes on some of the most beloved classical music classics.
There you go. Now I even know where saxophones come from. I'm not sure if you know the history of saxophones, but I believe the man that invented it was named Sax, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, see, that's another subject for another time.
Yeah, I believe you just taught me something today.
All right, well, we'll let you dig into that. So that's going to be on what date again?
That's on May the 19th. Something that everyone should know is that all of our concerts take place on some Friday in any month throughout the year, and they always take place in our recital hall at the historic Emmanuel Church in downtown Newport.
And tickets and all other information are available at newportclassical.org.
Absolutely. And just like our summer festival, these concerts do sell out fast. So if there's something that anyone hears here today or sees on our website that they would like to attend, I highly recommend that you secure those tickets very fast.
All right. Do you have a piece of music by this group?
I actually have two pieces of music for you.
Oh, all right. Well, let's take the first one first.
Absolutely. So the first one is going to be this wonderful saxophone quartet arrangement of Bach's Italian Concerto, BMV 197. I think everyone's going to completely enjoy this. There are small nuances throughout the piece that you don't typically get when this is played by your traditional string varietal. So this is Bach's Italian Concerto.
Well, Trevor, I have to agree with you. That is unbelievable. When it first started playing, I said, well, there's more than saxophones in there, but you say no.
No, that's just 4 saxophones. And like I say, this group of guys, they're really dedicated to bringing the best out of some of our most traditional loved classics.
That's excellent. That's going to be something to behold. And we have one more piece to listen to from that group?
Absolutely. So like I said before, they have this dedication to both the new and the old. And this is more of a newer piece. This piece was written about 16 years ago by a composer named Marcello Zavaros. This piece is called Memory. And pretty much throughout this work, the composer employs a unique blend of both the minimalistic style and energetic folk songs. And it kind of takes you down this weird, winding path of a rhythmic dance that's quite exciting and pairs well with this Bach Italian Concerto.
Excellent. We'll listen to that, then take a short break and be back with more of Newport Classical. Newport Classical Music Festival is the subject of tonight's Conducting Conversations. I'm Mike Mano, pleased to be sitting with our old friend Trevor Neal, whose voice you've heard on WCRI for several years now, both doing shows like this one and actually the Kids Music Hour you did for quite a while, right?
Yes,
on Saturday mornings.
yes.
That was a lot of fun. So, and we're talking about the festival, which is coming up, and during the year, there's other things that go on. The festival itself this summer is running from July 4th to the 23rd, featuring 26 concerts at 12 very historic venues within the Newport area. And Trevor, we've been talking about a special series that's going on now, one in April and one in May so far. People can find out about those concerts by going to the website, newportclassical.org. Is there a phone number they can call, or you don't do phones anymore?
We still do phones, believe it or not. That's 401-846-1133.
Wow. All right. So operators are standing by. That's actually
Operators are standing by.
Trevor's personal cell phone number. So. No, that's not true. But you can get an answer there, and they'll take care of you. Can order tickets online, or can they also order tickets by phone?
Yes, they can also order them by phone, online, on
right.
email. Any way that you can get those tickets, get them now.
Get them.
That's right.
Just get them. All right. We listened to a saxophone quartet in that middle segment, which was pretty amazing, and it's going to be hard to top that. But I'm sure you have some things up your sleeve.
Absolutely. Before we get to the last concert on this chamber series, I do want to kind of mention our alternative programming that we do along our chamber series, which of course is very important to us and very important to our community. And that's our community concert series and our education engagement. Each artist in our chamber series has the opportunity to do a 40-minute in-school, in-person performance workshop with students, both in Newport schools, Wilbur McMahon School in Little Compton, and we're also branching out into a few other school districts on Aquidneck Island.
So they actually go to the schoolroom. The students don't have to travel. They go to there.
That's right. We go to the school. They don't have to travel. They can ask any questions that they want to. Some schools will have their students play for the artist and have more of a master class workshop rather than just the artist playing for them and talking to them.
Right.
But we found these to be very beneficial for the students who are looking to further their education in music and take the next step.
That's excellent. That's an amazing thing. I know that I've had the privilege over the years of going into both high schools and colleges and doing master classes with my quartet. And that's a very rewarding experience for the artists as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. And next to this, we also understand that the parents want to enjoy a little bit of nice, easy programming as well. So we have a community concert series that happens 4 times a year, typically in September, October, April, and May. And we engage artists to do a public, free, 1-hour with no intermission concert for our community members. And this can be with the students and their parents. And our goal here is to try to bring music into the communities of Newport that are more underserved by our art form because of the barrier of entry being cost and transportation. So we have 2 more remaining this year, actually, on April 23rd and May 14. That is Mother's Day weekend, everyone. May 14. On April 23rd, Egalitarian Brass, phenomenal 5-member, all-female brass quintet from New York City. And they'll bring an eclectic program of classical music, pop hits, and they're maybe even end with a little Aretha Franklin. So if Aretha Franklin's your favorite, this is your concert to come to.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely. And on May 14, a phenomenal marimbist, Britton Renee Collins, will come and just completely entrance everyone in attendance to this concert with a program expanding the full scope of what the marimba has to offer. If you've never seen anyone play a marimba with 6 individual mallets at once, this is the concert you should come to.
That's unbelievable. 6 mallets, so they're holding 3 in each hand.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
That's going to be pretty cool. All right. And all of that, of course, the information, once again, newportclassical.org is your place to find that. And the other things that you do throughout the year are very, very important to the community. I know that. I know that Newport is very glad to have this organization around, and WCRI itself is happy to support and do things that encourage the what some people would call good music.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, that's obviously a term that is kind of a joke because almost all music is good music.
That's correct. It's all in the eye of the beholder.
There you go. It's like, who is an attractive person? You know,
that's correct.
I mean, I think I'm an attractive person, but you don't. So, so anyway, let's get back to the music. And what do you have for us here?
Yeah, on June 9th, we welcome a phenomenal virtuosic violinist, Stella Chin. Stella is probably one of the more high-profile violinists we've had on the Chamber Series. She's highly decorated. One artist that's quickly emerging. She's fresh off a 2019 Queen Elizabeth International Violin Competition win. She's a 2020 Avery Fisher Career Grant recipient and the 2020 Lincoln Center Emerging Artist Award winner. You don't get all that by just being subpar or an average player. So this is going to be an exciting closer to our Chamber Series. She's joined by another friend of the festival, a newer friend of the festival who has now played. This will be his third concert here, a pianist, Henry Kramer. Mm-hmm. He's a phenomenal emerging pianist, and this is just going to be a stellar concert. For our traditional classical music audiences, this is the concert for you. The duo will play this program that's anchored by Schumann's Violin Sonata No. 1 in A minor. And interestingly enough, Mike, this piece, it's something that Schumann himself hated.
Really?
Yes, he wrote his first violin sonata and said, I'm going to write the second one because I hate the first one so much. But I hope that our audience come in and actually enjoy his first sonata just as much as I do. This next piece of music by Brahms is from his FAE sonata, which was unfinished upon his death. And Schumann, who this concert is anchored by, was one of two people who was a part of the team that finished this composition for him.
There was a connection between those two that's very storied. Right?
Absolutely. And the other person being the violinist Joachim, who actually wrote and finished and prepared this next, what you're going to hear today, the Brahms Scherzo from this FAE sonata.
All right. Well, before we get to that, I just want to take this moment to thank you for coming in. And let's just review everything because we've given people a lot of information today. So let's start from the beginning. Here it is, Easter Sunday, coming up in just a week or so, right?
Absolutely.
Is our first event, and that's what?
We'll kick it off again, April 21, Thomas Mesa, Ilya Yakushev, phenomenal program. The next thing will be on the following Sunday, actually, the same Sunday of the same weekend, which is our first community concert of the spring, Egalitarian Brass. This will be followed by the next community concert, which is Britton Renee Collins on marimba at Mayan-Sonoma Park. May 19th is Canary Quartet at the Historic Emmanuel Church. And to close out our wonderful chamber series, we'd like to thank you all with the concert from the phenomenal Stella Chin on June the 9th.
All right. And then shortly after that, it'll be July 4th coming up.
That's right.
And that's the day you start with the traditional, if you will.
That's correct.
Festival.
Yes.
And July 4th is, I don't think it's always started on July 4th, has it? Actually on the 4th of July? No.
This is something that's kind of been in the mix the last 4 or 5 seasons, starting the season on July 4th. We found that the majority of our patrons who come for the summer season, whether that be from Florida because they're snowbirds or from across the bridge, after July 4th tends to be the time that they're in Newport. So we always start our programming on July 4th with a whopping 4th of July concert at King Park. This year will feature Fenway Brass Quintet.
Wow. All right. So all of those events and all the descriptions of those concerts, between those 12 venues that they're going to be at, all that information is available on the website. So check all that out. Trevor, thanks for coming in once again. It was great to see you again. Don't be a stranger for so long next time.
I'll try not to.
All right. Let's listen to this last piece, and then we'll see you all next time on Conducting Conversations. Conducting Conversations was brought to you by Roberts Musical Instruments, using music and the arts to keep your child educated, entertained, and having fun. Roberts Musical Instruments is your key to musical success. Call 823-5459. That's 823-5459.